We've got a little expression in the UK when the temperature drops below zero that it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Well, judging by the amount of brass I've picked up today, I reckon I've got his balls in that box down there. Hopefully you'll stick with the video and see whether I really have or not. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vintage Freak YouTube channel. Today we've got a little bit of a haul video. There's roughly 20 items, so I'll rattle through them as quickly as I can. In total, for all 20 items, I did pay up and I paid £160 for all 20 items, so average it out about £8 an item. Hopefully there'll be something of interest to all of you. So, first up, this is pretty spectacular. This is a steel candelabra, gilt finished, no huge age to it, but in the right environment this would certainly make a spectacular centerpiece for a table or in a restaurant or a bar, so that's why I picked that up. I'll probably be listing this in the region of 40 to 50 pounds on eBay. Next up we have, I'll try and vary it a bit as well because there's some fairly similar items amongst this haul. Next up we have a lovely set of antique dominoes in the original box, and there is a chance, I haven't checked yet, there is a chance that they could be faced with ivory. Now obviously a pretty controversial subject, ivory, and I did cover it in one of my earlier videos. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch that, but pre 1947 ivory can be traded. I certainly wouldn't support, obviously it'd be illegal to support modern ivory trading, but there is a court case going through at the moment to ban all sale of ivory. But they are what they are, and I think it's a lovely little set of Edwardian or even earlier Victorian dominoes. Next out we have a solid brass pitcher. This must weigh about £2 or roughly a kilogram in weight, so there's probably £3 or £4 worth of scrap just in that. Not that I would scrap it. Decorative, Middle East possibly, and I'll be listing this for in the region of 20 to 30 pounds. Next out we have what I would call a white metal decorative rooster, or possibly even a fighting cock, looking at the position or the stance of him. It is white metal, it's not silver plated, there's no maker's marks on it anywhere. I will be listing this for in the region of 20 to 25 pounds. Next up we have an antique solid brass candlestick. A lot of weight, great age and patina to the brass. Now when people use the expression patina or patination, it refers to the chemical reaction of the metal surface in the atmosphere. It ages it, it darkens it, and occasionally, well not occasionally, but on brass you will eventually get verdigris, which is a more extreme form of patination where you get actually a green deposit forming on the surface, but there's no verdigris on this brass candlestick. That will be listed for roughly £25. That is a good quality antique brass candlestick. Next up, again trying to vary it a little bit, we have, try and lift this up without dropping it all over the place, a dinner gong and the clanger. Brass. There you go, dinner time, fully working order. It's got a little, what looks like, well it looks plastic to me, a little plastic end to the clanger, and faux bamboo frame. hangs on cord, hollow on the back, no maker's mark anywhere. I will be listing this for approximately £40 on eBay. Next up we have a pair, really. Well, they're not a matching pair, but we have two wall candelabras. They just literally hang on your wall. No age to these at all. Decorative. That's the thing about Vintage Freak. Our sort of motto is affordable, decorative, functional. So it doesn't necessarily have to be vintage or antique, as long as it is retro, which is reminiscent of a past or previous style, and is decorative and of course always affordable. So I thought these were quite nice. They are different, but they'd hang really nicely in a dining room. And what people tend to do now, rather than put actual wax candles into them, is just use the LED versions. And they're a cheap option, safe, and they last for a reasonable amount of time as well. So not that you would have these on permanently. Anyway, so a couple of nice steel candelabras to be hung on the wall. Next we have this is a little Art Nouveau style bud vase. I don't think it's steel. There's an obvious way to check. No. So it doesn't look brass to me, although you can get a white brass. No maker's mark. A little bit of age to it. So I'm going to call this white metal at this point. It's not silver plated. It's just some alloy. And I'll be listing this for roughly 20 to £25 in the eBay shop. Next out we have one of my favourite items from the haul. Is a solid brass robin on a steel base. Absolutely lovely little paperweight for your desk. It's got quite a bit of age to it. Well, you know, certainly 1970s onwards, possibly early 1980s onwards. So frightening as it is, that is sort of 30 years ago. But it is a lovely little robin, very characterful, and another great example of affordable, decorative and functional. It's what we're all about at Vintage Freak. And nice bit of weight and a perfect little paperweight for your desk. Price wise, I will be asking £25 in the eBay shop. Okay. Next, as I say, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. We have, well, it's got a bit of weight to it. This is another candelabra, or candelabrum, as some people call them. Chain hung, ceiling, this time a ceiling candelabra with crystal, well, they are glass, with glass decorative teardrops around the edge. Anyway, it has been used before. There's wax all around it, and it does weigh quite a bit, so it is hung from a chain. But I think that's pretty spectacular. And again, rather than using real candles, although you could, just for safety, people will wrap an LED around an item like this, and it'd look fantastic as a centerpiece hung over a table in your dining room. So I'll be listing this between, I would think, £40 to £60 probably in the eBay shop. I might do a bit of research on it. So lovely item, bit of a standout piece there. Now, it was actually sat in this heavy steel pan, 2 handles, Now, why would I have bought that, are you asking? Simple answer. People use these as planters in the gardens. They're absolutely perfect. They'll last forever. It's got some weight and occasionally they will drill some holes in the bottom. Personally, I wouldn't bother with that if you're putting it into plastic containers, putting your plants in plastic containers inside it. But it would sit really nicely on a terrace or on a patio, or even positioned in your garden somewhere. So I will be listing this for approximately £25 in the eBay shop. Next out, what do we have? Well, here's an interesting little thing, a pair of miniature brass candlesticks. Now these do sell. I'm not entirely sure what people do with them. Perhaps they'll use them in their dolls' houses or to dress a little room in a doll's house. I don't know, to be honest with you, but they do sell. Not for a lot of money. This pair will probably be, well, maximum £10 in the eBay shop. No maker's mark. Oh, there is, actually. Right, let's have a quick look. And it says, well, made in England, Peerage. The manufacturer was Peerage. So I will be looking that up, and the price I sell them for will reflect, you know, the age, manufacturer, and other examples that are for sale on eBay. So anyway, a pair of these are between £5 and £10. So no money in them really, but a couple of interesting little items, and they are a matching pair. And next, I think what I'll do, I'll just hold up 2 or 3 of these, to be honest with you, because they're all quite similar. They're brass pitchers. Different, they're all different. They're all Middle Eastern, I would say. No maker's mark. 20 to 30 years old, I estimate. If anybody knows differently, leave a comment. They are what they are really. They're decorative, hand engraved. I've got 3 or 4 of them. I won't go through each one individually. Different sizes, decorative, and you know, you could use them as bud vases really on the side. I'm not going to polish them. I'm going to leave the original patina on them. And perhaps this one's slightly different here. A bit more to it. Definitely looks Middle Eastern to me. It's got the hinge lid and also a little cover for the spout. No maker's mark. Probably post-war. Has a little chain for something or other, I'm not too sure what. Yeah, this isn't hand engraved. No, definitely not hand engraved. Stamped, I would have thought, the brass, or cast even. Probably cast. But quite intricate in its own right. And because of that, I will be asking a tiny little bit more for it. I'll probably be asking in the region of £25 to £30 for this. And obviously all the items that I sell in the Vintage Freak eBay shop, you can make an offer as well. So if it's a sensible offer, then I'll always consider it. Well, I guess the burning question you're all waiting for the answer to is, did I find the brass monkey's balls? And the answer is yes. Well, at least I found one of them, and judging by the size of this bad boy, that must have been one big monkey. There you go. That's that just about covers today's haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please help the channel by liking this video, and if you could, it'd be fantastic if you would subscribe. Spread the word, spread the antique and vintage word. And that concludes today's video. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and please stay safe.